Hey, what's up? A little unorganized, so bear with me. It was rainy today. Got done a little early, so decided to come home and try to get something done. And I've been needing to um, get this fogger system built onto the intake. Never done it before, so um, looked for videos, and none of them. There's no videos that I found that tell you where to start, where to put them. My intake doesn't have the lifted bosses like this one. This is the intake going back on the Nova. The Victor or Super Vic 2 that I got does not have the raised bosses, so I kind of just measured these. They're about 1 3/8 up, and you just center the port. So that's what I did. Now they come out looking like this one's lower than this one, but they're both inches. They both sides do it, and they're all 1 3/8. I've done this side, haven't done this side. So what I did was, this side I start out first trying to get the center of the port and then go off of that, but that doesn't work. Really on this one, because the port curves so much, so you can't go off of that. I just kind of eyeballed. I stuck my punch. Stuck my punch up here and lined it up with what I can see as the center, and I ran with it. And then I measured 1 3/8 up, made me a line all the way across, and made my marks. So that's how I got started over here. You do have to have a special tap for it because it's an NTP, so it's beveled, or not beveled, but it's tapered. Yes, tapered is the word. So I got this from Summit. This here is the part number for a 1/16 NTP tap. That's the part number for it. I don't know, it was like $20 maybe, or 30. Yeah, maybe around 30. And then I used a size drill bit, because this is pretty important too. Hold on. Let me put this down right there while I get this drill bit out. Alright, really unprofessional, but you gotta do what you gotta do. 15/64. That's never gonna come into focus. Anyways, 15/64 is the drill bit. Nobody says that either on any of their videos. They leave out all this vital information. That's what I'm looking for, is that kind of information. I know how to drill a fucking hole. I know how to tap. And that's what they're showing you, the easy normal stuff. I need to know where to do it, what to use, and nobody's telling you that. So here it is. So I got these done and it worked out. So the thing with the tapered is you can only run this tap in so far, and you have to figure out how far that is because of the thickness of what you're working with. If you run it all the way in, then it's not going to tighten up like this just did right there. It got real tight. And you need that on every single one. So you don't want to, if you run this all the way in, it's not going to seal. So you have to play with it. Just run it in, run your tap in. On this one, I ran it in halfway, and then I blew it out and I tried it, and it needed to go in further. So I went in a little further and pulled it out, cleaned it, dried it. It ended up being, on this tap, this is a pretty short tap, about 5 threads from the top of it. So that was for me. That was for my intake. Your intake may have the bosses. Your intake may be thinner, thicker. If it doesn't, So I wouldn't go off of what I'm saying at all. Try it out for yourself if you do this. So this side is tapped. May not look perfect, but as long as it works. So I just need to drill this. Oh, and so I don't have a stand to set my intake on to make it perfect and drill it like these machine shops or CNC shops do that do this stuff. They can get it perfect. If you can at all afford that, do it that way. That way you know your shit is perfect. This is not actually the correct way to do it, the way I'm doing it, but I'm not sending it off for that. So what I did was I stuck a ruler, this thing right here, on my port, and it is actually almost perfect. The distance from that ruler, from the fat part of my drill with the rigid, the other side that doesn't have the rigid, it's off, it doesn't work. But the part with the rigid, it ends up being perfectly straight. So that's what I did. I just had to eyeball it this way, which isn't hard to do. As long as you got it set one way, you can eyeball it one way, you know. Just if I had to eyeball it all the way around, that's what I was worried about, getting it straight. They'd have been one this way, one this way, one over here. It'd have been like a wall-eyed and a cross-eyed person sitting next to each other. That's what my fogger would look like. But not going to have that problem here. This worked out. I don't know if you go this route. I don't know what you'll do to make sure your drill is straight, but figure something out so you don't have a walleye and a cross-eyed person sitting next to each other. But I mean, if it seals, it works. But as long as you get the port shooting right down your chamber, you know, I don't know what the problem is other than looks. I may be wrong. I'm no expert in this. I'm just doing what I got to do to get my ship built. A lot of us are like that. We do what we got to do to get our ship built. We don't have CNC money, and we're not gonna run that way. So the truck is coming along. The wiring is done. I finished it up Saturday, all except for what is hanging out of the firewall to, you know, because the engine isn't in yet. I'm getting my motor this week. The short block will be done. He's putting the cam in it, new cam in it right now. And then he's going to surface my heads. I'll get the heads back. I'm going to rebuild the heads. Even though they're a year and a half old, I'm still going to rebuild them just because they're off. Might as well. I'm going to lap the valves and new seals and make sure everything's good. Might as well while they're off. So that's what I'm doing today. I'll get this done and probably start running the pipe, which there's plenty of videos on running the pipe. That's, if you have a little pipe bender, then anybody can do it. So I'm not going to do a video on that. I think it's pointless. Since there's so many of them out there, I just wanted to make a video on the stuff that I couldn't find. So after I make my mark, I take a little punch so my drill bit doesn't slide around. You don't want that scratching your intake all up. I'm going to paint this silver, or, you know, try to get it back to factory color, cover all this stuff up. I mean, that's pencil right there. I can just erase it. I'll clean it up and paint it silver so it looks like new again, and build this system. Or I'll probably build the system and not paint it because I don't have the paint, and I won't go get it, and I'll just keep building it and not get it painted. Oh well. Oh well, it's gonna get dirty anyways. Got my nitrous feed lines. Got 2 of them, one for each bottle. I got both of my AFR gauges in. Oh, the dash is in. I would go on, fuck it. I'll just uncover it a little bit. I'll take a little peek in there. See the progress. A little light in there. So the dash, I still have the protective cover on it, but it is in, bolted in. Mounted me a little fan. Who knows? So it's all in. I'm gonna move a couple of gauges down because I have my volts gauge here. It's not nearly as important to me as these two, and I can't see this one because of the steering wheel. So I'm gonna move these two right here. Then it'll be fine. All that wiring, gosh, that was so much wiring. I've got the rear lights working. The wires are down there. I'm waiting to put the front end on to hook all the parking lights together, and then I'll tuck that up and whatever I do with the headlights, and I'm gonna put a light bar on it probably because the headlights are blacked out. I got another seat to go in exactly like that. I got the same cover. The guy who gave me that one pretty much gave me this one, so it's coming together. Probably 2 weeks from now I'll be putting the motor and transmission in, if I can wait that long. Maybe next weekend. No, because I'll be building it next weekend. I still gotta do the heads, put it together. It'll take a little while, but I'll keep you posted on it as much as I can. On the wires. Alright, well, that's gonna do it. Oh yeah, I got the back wheels. I put 2 of my old slicks on the back wheels, put them on. Alright, well, I will update later on.